Gananam tva ganapatigum havamahi kavim kavinam upamashravastamam jistarajam brahmam brahmaspata anashrivanuti vishiri saranam om om om. Good morning. Today we're going to use our meditation practice to access the super consciousness. A lot of times, especially in Kundalini, we're working through the unconscious, and we don't often talk about getting to the place where we move beyond our own limited awareness. Because we have such a great identification with our physical body and the ego, and most people are very outwardly focused, it's hard to get to this internal place. So today's practice is going to all be building up towards accessing this inner intuition, strength, guidance. When we get to this place, our latent potential becomes accessible, and we know what it is we're supposed to do to make the most of who we are in this life, in this body. Ready? Let's tune in with Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. A couple of deep inhales and exhales. And then an inhale to chant. Ong Namo Gurudev. We're going to start with a Kundalini classic, Ego Buster, but I would like us to think about the name slightly differently. Let's call it Ego Balancer. Bring your arms up to a nice strong V, like your arms are antenna. You want your antennas to be straight. Curl your fingertips into the palms of your hands, and your thumbs are lengthening all the way along the arms to the center of your chest. The eyes are powerfully focused right between the eyebrows. And then we'll exhale, drawing the belly strongly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the belly out. Great, keep going. So our awareness is strongly focused at the spot in between the eyebrows. To the extent that you're able to have a visualization or an impression, feel like you have another organ of vision at that spot in between your eyebrows. In other words, create a third eye for yourself there. Our ego is not all bad. Our ego is what helps to protect us and our physical body, as long as we have a physical body moving around in this life. The issue is that we don't balance it with awareness of our spiritual consciousness, which is vast and far beyond the limited awareness of our ego. Our ego is strongly associated with that persona, the personality that we project in the world and the stories that we tell about ourselves, to ourselves and to others. Perfect. Deep inhale. Squeeze up on Mulband. Engage upwards. Contain the energy. And slightly drop the chin so that you contain the energy on the upper end of your torso. Draw the thumb tips together until they touch overhead. Good. Relax down. So to some extent, what today's practice is about is all of the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and what's happened to us and what we stand for. All of that, think about it as just an acting role that we take on, and you're going to remove yourself and be a little more detached from the stories that you might tell yourself about yourself. All right, to get warmed up, we're going to come up to standing. And you might as well stand close, where you're in close enough proximity to a wall where you can touch it with some fingertips. First, let's loosen up our ankles. So roll your foot around, roll your knee around with the idea that you're trying to get as much mobility into your ankle as you can. Good. Then put the top of your foot on the floor, maybe as far back as you can, and then lean back and see if you can get a stretch across this upper portion of your foot. Good. Do a few more rolls with your foot off the ground. Let's switch to the other foot. So get into your ankle, roll it both directions. Thinking about the mobility of your ankle, flexibility of your ankle. Good. Stretch the upper portion of your foot. Great. Roll it a couple more times. All right. Get a strong balance on one leg or the other, and bring the other knee up into your chest and hold on to it. Let go with your hands. Try and keep your knee as high as it can go. Maybe get your fingertips back on the wall for this next bit. And without letting your foot touch the ground, step back. Step back as far as you can. Step back up. Do that a few times, going as far back as you can and as far up with your knee. And if you need to keep your fingertips on the wall, do so. But experiment with at least one of the lunging backwards. See if you can do one really concentrating on staying strong in your midsection. Next time you come back, let your foot stay back, and let's work the calf and ankle. So do whatever you need to do to adjust the position so that you really feel it back in your calf. Great, and then step back up one more time. Let's do the other knee. And then letting go with your hands, keeping your knee up as high as you can, and let's step back and up. And then stretch that calf out. up. All right, good. We're gonna go a little bit deeper with those lunges. Raise your knee up as high as you can, and then step back and maybe scoot your foot back a little bit more so you can get your hands either to the floor or to your front knee. And we're gonna move up into stretching this front part of the thigh and the hip and the low belly. Wherever you get to, try raising the arm on that same side to enhance the stretch. The more that you can make the back of your thigh work, the more it's going to allow you to stretch the front side of your body. And that knee can definitely be on the ground. Great, let's back up. Notice how you feel in your two different thighs and hips from side to side. Let me get into those hips a little bit. Shift one way, shift the other. Let's do the other leg. So knee up, coming back. Maybe scooch back a little bit more. Engage the thigh in the back, quad. The more you engage that quad, the more you're gonna be able to release the front side of the body. And then let's go ahead and move the arm up to try and get deeper into your psoas, the belly, the front of the thigh that's stretched back. Good. And then step back forward. All right, try this one. Step the first knee up high, cross it above your ankle. Might need to have the wall handy. And then sit into it, just like we would do a figure 4 stretch. And I'll go ahead and face forward, make that a little easier. Definitely hold on to the wall if you need to. So just as a reminder, if we were doing this on the ground, it would look like that. Or if we were doing it on our back, it would look like this. Sorry, I came out of the camera screen. All right. All right. And then you can combine this very gently with moving the knee. Moving the knee towards your body and away from your body. Only do it as long as your knee doesn't hurt at all. Think about your hip socket, all of the tissues around your hip, and think about them getting healthier through the action of doing this. Ooh, feel the burn in your other leg that's holding you up. Maybe sit a little bit deeper. Great, and then come all the way back up, leg down. Other knee up. Cross it just above the knee, and then sit into it. Getting that figure 4 stretch deep into the hips. You might even feel that into the buttock, especially if you've had sciatica. Good, and then if you can, if there's no pain in your knee, go through range of motion with that knee. Pull it towards you, and then gently push it away from you, back and forth. Great, and then come back up. And let's just do a little bit more for the hips and knees to get ready for a really, we're gonna be extremely still in our sitting and our meditation today. Not extremely, totally. So you might do some hip circles. Think about getting into your hips. Think about a yoga version of, oh shoot, what's that called, Brian? You go like that. Okay, he's not gonna tell me. All right, try and get as much movement as you can into your hips and your sacrum. All right, excellent. One more, get as wide as you can with your legs. Lean over to one side, If you're not able to reach the floor, no problem, put your hands just above your knees. Try and keep your knees and your ankles in harmony with each other. So make sure that your knees are opening towards the back of your body, opening wider, as opposed to collapsing towards the inside and your arches collapsing. So we'll go side to side a little bit more. Good, and now let's go ahead and twist. And again, you can do this with your hand on the floor or your hands on your knees. Twist the other way. Great, and then we're gonna come down to sitting. Just a little bit more warm up. Again, 2 reasons for that. We're gonna do a very long, still meditation at the end. And also, part of the way to be able to stay still is to get all of your agitation out. All of the stress, anxiety, lack of movement. Gotta get that out of our body, balance our nervous system. All right, so just a tiny bit more here. Get your legs out straight, and we're gonna, again, work the back line of the legs, not allowing the low back to get strained. So that might mean put your hands on the floor, fingertips on the floor, and push your torso forward. The more that you can have the backs of your knees pushing towards the ground, the better this is gonna work out. Also, same thing, the more you can have your feet flexed, the better this is going to get into the backs of your legs. If you're able to reach all the way to your feet, reach to your feet. Walk your legs wide. Pull yourself forward. Pull yourself over one leg, the other. Walk your legs back together. Now hold on wherever you can. It may mean holding on to your pant leg. If you can reach all the way down to a foot or an ankle, hold on there. Lift that leg up and let's do a twist. Feel like you've got something to resist against with this back hand, like you're pushing into it, and let that help you twist further open. Looking as far behind you as you can. Keep your spine super long. Keep the twist, but then turn and face forward, turn and face back. Moving back and forth like you're shaking your head no a few times. And then as we get close to finishing, if you can put whatever you're holding towards the outside edge of your leg and use that as leverage to maybe take you a tiny bit deeper into the rotation. Great, unravel, pause, notice how different you feel from side to side, probably especially in the spine, but maybe also in the hips, shoulders. Okay, let's do the other side. So holding on wherever you can, and twisting. Nice and tall with your spine, and then turning your head like you're saying no. Maybe as you've loosened up, you can hold slightly further down your leg towards your foot. And then to finish off, hold towards the outside of that leg wherever you can, and use that leverage to take you deeper into your twist. Great, release that leg down. All right, go ahead and find your comfortable way of sitting. And we're gonna start a 3-part short set, well, sort of three-part, let's just say 3-part set that helps us to access our internal strength, our internal identity. So hands in Gyan Mudra, you can do that either touching kind of like an OK sign, or you can tuck your fingers in where the tip of the index finger is distinctly secured with the thumb. The upper arms are right in tight alongside your chest. Palms face forward. And just sit here for a minute and feel peaceful. Perhaps you can imagine that you're setting aside, almost like you have on a coat that's your identity that you present to the world, and you're just going to take that off for now. And we're going to start a rotating movement with our wrists as we take the arms all the way open, palms facing out to the sides, and then rotate back the other direction, nice and tight, with the upper arms against the chest, out and in, out and in. So we're going to get better at knowing, identifying our intuition, building the strength of our intuition by using it. So notice, is there a difference for you in how you have your hand and thumb touching? Try the two different options that I showed and see if you notice a difference for yourself. Similarly, with the hand movements and the arm, find the rhythm, find a gracefulness that feels the most harmonious for you. This is working to balance the hemispheres of the brain. For this portion of the practice, concentrate on finding your way of doing this movement that feels the most harmonious. Tap into your internal instincts about the best way to do this movement for you. So just get really comfortable with the movement to start out. And for those of you who've done Kundalini before, you know that sometimes it's just about using your determination to go all the way to the end, to observe whatever physical aggravations might come up, whatever mental attitudes might come up, and then you just keep going. So go ahead and say to yourself right now, you're going to keep going for another 7 minutes, no matter what your body says, no matter what your mind says. Keep your eyes open for the next portion and start to go as fast as you can with the movement. Your coordination might not be as good. It's okay, keep going as fast as you can. So this set is not only about accessing your strength, but it's about directing it, using it for the things that we want to, rather than dissipating it through the normal ways that people preoccupy themselves with life. The early stages of a yogic practice, the early stages of a tantric practice, and actually I would say probably any spiritual practice, start with things that you should do in your life and things that you should avoid in your life in order to be able to focus inwardly. Most of the time, there's a lot of overlap between what these might be. But typically, the primary one is to not harm others. And then I would almost feel like some of the rest are corollaries. Don't lie, don't be envious, don't take other people's stuff. Don't let your sexual desires run your life off the rails. In other words, they're all things to do to reduce the drama in your life. Reduce the number of things that keep us outwardly focused, agitated, worked up, and unable to settle and find the calm inner space, the vastly greater inner space that we can get to. Hang in there, you're doing great. This class is streaming originally on the day before, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So one of the other things that you're supposed to avoid in many traditions is overeating, overconsumption. So just keep that in mind. If you do get to the point of overconsumption, notice what the motivating factors are. One of the things to cultivate is, it's called tapas, which means, it can mean heat, and I think of it as the friction that arises when we want something and yet we control our urge around it. And food is the easiest way to access that, because we almost all want to eat something that we know we shouldn't. So again, as we approach Thanksgiving, notice if you have opportunities to use tapas, to want that second or third piece of pecan pie and to not take it. To notice the friction, the internal friction that arises from that. and allow that heat to burn off that which is not in your highest interest. You are doing so well. Keep going just a tiny bit longer. Last few rotations. Bring the arms in. Feel like you're compressing your ribs by squeezing the arms alongside the body. Engage Mulband. Let the eyes close. Lift to the chest, slightly drop to the chin, like you're squishing an orange underneath your chin. Containing the energy. Good. Relax out of that. That's a long little sit. So if you need to, bounce your knees, straighten your legs out, or shift the position you're sitting. Do that. The other two parts of this practice are much shorter. Go ahead and take your palms up overhead. If it helps, you can cross your thumbs to keep your hands together. And we're going to rotate from the very bottom of our body, from the part that's in contact with the floor. And your arms are going to be sort of like cantilevers to help with the momentum moving in the circle. And you can rotate either direction. Rotating, so the arms help with the momentum, but they also help to restore balance. So just keep going with your circle. You can feel the shift of the weight of your body across the sits bones, across the pubic bone in the front, maybe even the tip of the tailbone in the back. Feeling the rotation coming down from the base of the spine. Feel like the movement is taking you deeper internally. So rather than finding our sense of self or our sense of security in the external, feel like you are taking yourself deeper on an inner journey, accessing our spirit, our soul, our higher consciousness as a source of strength and security. Good. Let's rotate the other direction. Similar to what I said before, feel like you are moving deeper and deeper, accessing your latent potential, releasing your latent potential. Great. Inhale, tall to center. Engage the muscles of the pelvic floor. Feel yourself lift up a tiny bit. Squish that orange under your chin, Jalandhara Bandha. Release. Maybe shrug your shoulders a little bit, roll your shoulders if there's any tension from that practice. All right. Again, accessing our spiritual strength, final exercise. Hold on to your opposite elbow, and we're going to be moving our the entirety of our arms up and down, and you're going to make contact at your belly, and you're going to make contact at your forehead. It's not a hard movement, but you definitely feel the contact up and down. Let your breath regulate however works for you. We're going to be working more with our inner vision, with our with the third eye, which sees in a manner that's different than our two physical eyes. That process involves looking at the inside of our forehead. And as we continue with this practice, gently striking the forehead and then the abdomen, feel like you're cleaning, preparing that surface for the third eye to be able to see clearly. Just a minute longer. And for this last bit, if you can go faster, go faster. Great, inhale. Root lock, neck lock. Release, roll your shoulders, shrug your shoulders. Do whatever you need to release any tension that might have come up. All right, again, that way we've been sitting a long time, and we're gonna sit for another few minutes before relaxation. And we're gonna be bowing forward during the pranayama practice. So make sure that your legs feel good, knees feel good, and also shift how you're sitting if that's gonna help you. We'll do a 4-part inhale, sniffing in, and then a slow, steady exhale. And try to have the exhale be just as long as that 4-part inhale, or maybe even longer. If you like chanting while you breathe, you can mentally chant sa, ta, na, ma as you're sniffing in. And on the exhale, we're gonna bow forward. So for the entirety of the practice, try and grasp your opposite fingertips behind your back. If you can interlace your fingers, even better. Maybe you hold on to a strap or a little towel behind your back if you've got big broad shoulders and can't reach your hands behind you. So hands back here. and then fold forward and raise the hands up as high as they'll go on the exhale. Good. Great, keep going. We're gonna do this long enough that if you need to adjust now so that no part of you hurts, go ahead and make that adjustment. One thing might be to put something where your forehead touches so that you don't have to go as far forward towards the floor. That might relieve your low back a little bit. Oop. On the exhale, as you're bowing forward, if you want to squeeze Mul Bandh and really feel like you're getting movement of chi, of prana up your spine, do that. That's a great addition that will help with what we're going to do subsequent. Last little bit, really having a sense of how that forward movement, the bowing forward, takes energy up Sushumna to the third eye spot, that then makes contact with the ground. Really have a sense of that for the last couple of repetitions. Good, okay. I forgot what we were doing. All right, inhale, tall spine, engage the pelvic floor, engage neck lock, and release. Let's take a relaxing break on your back for a few minutes. While you're relaxing, I'm going to go ahead and start to play the mantra that we will be chanting to. You can just continue to relax, and this allows it to kind of sink into your unconscious.
Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti.
You can, I'll turn this down just a little bit. You can continue to relax for another minute. If this mantra is unfamiliar to you, this would be a great time to pull up the description of class where I've written the mantra out. Oftentimes when learning mantras in a classic tradition, it would be a call and response. And so in a moment when we begin to chant along with this mantra, you can either chant with the singer, or you can chant in the space after, like you're responding to what they're saying. And especially if you're learning it, that might be the preferable way to do it. So go ahead and rock either along your spine and rock yourself all the way upright, or roll over to your side and come up for meditation. And we will be bowing in this chanting meditation practice. So sit in a way that makes it easiest for you to do that. And again, if you found that getting your forehead towards the floor was a challenge, strained your back, and put something, some books, a piggy bank, whatever, put it there so that your forehead can touch that and you get that stimulation of the third eye. All right, so the mudra is going to be lotus mudra. And the lotus flower has its roots down in the cesspool of mud and debris that we could liken to the tamasic region of the first and second chakras. So our hands start down there with a closed lotus blossom, and then it rises up, mirroring the movement of our consciousness through the spinal column, through Sushumna, all the way up to the crown of the head, where it's a full open lotus, a Kamala. Enough said there. And then we will bow and come down. So we'll chant as we come up. You can go up one time on all the repetitions of the chant, or you can go back and forth, and then on the Namo Namo, we'll bow forward. Sorry, that wasn't the clearest instruction, but once we get started, I think it will become clear. All right, so sit how you're going to feel comfortable. I'll go ahead and turn the music back up. And I'll start the next time we get to the beginning of the mantra. Here we go. Adi Shakti. Adi Shakti. Adi Shakti. Namo Siddha Shakti. Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo, Namo Namo, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Siddha Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Shakti, Sarva Shakti,
Namo Namo Pritam Bhagavati
Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo Kundalini Mata Shakti, Kundalini Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. Last time. Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Namo Namo, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Sarva Shakti, Namo Namo, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Pritam Bhagavati, Namo Namo, Kundalini Mata Shakti,
Kundalini
Mata Shakti,
Namo Namo
Namo Namo. All right, excellent. So there is a final meditation. The key to this meditation is going to be physical stillness, and this includes even unconscious movements that we often make. So that might include movement of the eyes, shrugging of the shoulders, clenching of the teeth. So you can do this final bit seated if you're really good at staying still. However, my invitation is that you do this lying on your back so that you have the least possible physical distractions from doing the practice. So decide which one is going to work for you. Whichever one you're going to do, move towards that position and get all of your wiggles out. You want to set yourself up so that you are the least distracted by the outer surroundings as possible. We're going to go as deeply internal as we can. And part of that is altering the way that the mind works through absolute and complete physical stillness. So, get yourself so that you can be successful with that stillness. Last final movements so that you are completely comfortable and you can begin the physical quieting, becoming physically quiet. However you're sitting, become aware of the entirety of your physical body, the whole of your body, all at the same time. From top to toe, rather than concentrating on any particular part, a homogeneous awareness of the entirety of your physical body. If this is particularly challenging, you could think of the surface of your skin and trying to be aware of the surface of your skin, every bit of it simultaneously. Whole body, whole body, whole body. Aware that you are lying or sitting on the ground, and awareness of your entire body simultaneously. Complete stillness. If there's any movement that does happen, have your whole concentration be on it so that there is no unconscious movement whatsoever. But ideally, we start this practice of inner yoga by having no movements whatsoever. You may develop an awareness of the most minute little twitching movements of the eyes. Allow them to come to rest. Allow the eyes to quiet. The tongue to quiet. Toes and fingers that might twitch, allow them to quiet. In order for our mind to be able to concentrate completely, our body must be completely still. Harness your concentration to still your body, quiet every unconscious movement. Movement of eyebrows, movement of the furrow between your brows. Stillness, stillness, inner peacefulness, inner yoga. Continuing to concentrate on your entire body, the stillness of your entire body, and also the fact that you are either lying or sitting on the ground. A feeling may develop that's called seemingly like levitation or an astral floating. You're concentrating on your body and the stillness of your body so completely that it may feel like you are floating a little bit. You're obviously not floating, but you want that sensation to arise. It's like you are a completely still statue that is starting to levitate away from the floor. Continuing to keep the body still. All unconscious movement of the body is now controlled by conscious awareness. When you are able to concentrate on the whole body and its stillness, then you will begin to experience the body as though you were a statue. As you continue in this way, you will take control of a portion of your brain. Your consciousness will begin to change. Remaining conscious of not moving or taking conscious control of any movement that does happen allows the mind to relax in a particular manner, allows your consciousness to shift. continuing to control any impulses to move. Before we can control our mind, we must control our strength. We must strengthen our control over the body. And now we're going to continue to control and be aware of the large, tangible, physical body, and simultaneously be aware of the slightly more subtle breath movement. No need to change your breath at all. Just begin to simultaneously be aware of the breath. When the breath goes in, notice the breath is going in. When the breath goes out, be aware of the breath going out. Concentrating on the natural breath. Taking breath, which is most often times unconscious, and very deliberately making it conscious. Being completely conscious of every breath. Being completely conscious of the lack of movement, and if there is movement, being completely conscious of that movement. Notice that the breath moves from the nostrils up to the spot between your eyebrows, to the third eye spot, as though it were moving towards the peak of a triangle. And when you exhale, the breath moves down to the broadened base of that triangle. Inhaling to the third eye, exhaling out the nostrils. Total consciousness, awareness of the breath. Every aspect of the breath, every breath in and out, total awareness. Up through the triangular shape to the third eye, out and down on the exhale. Feel as though you are coming closer to the breath. Staying aware. And now each time you breathe in, overlay the sound of the incoming breath with mentally chanting Om. Om. Same on the exhale. Total concentration, awareness of the breath, overlaying the sound of the breath with Om. On the inhale and the exhale, the breath and the sound of Om become one. Om. Still aware of that triangular shape of the breath as it moves in and up to the third eye spot with the chanting of Om. Out and down, away from the third eye spot as we exhale. Om. The next time that you breathe in, follow the breath up to the third eye spot. And it's as though you move just to the inside of your forehead. The inside of your forehead is like a dark wall, a black wall. And now we'll begin seeing with our third eye. Your two normal eyes remain relaxed, totally still. We're conscious of any movement or controlling that movement. And we continue to enhance our awareness of a black wall at the front of our forehead. The right temple forms the right wall of what we're aware of now is a room. And the left temple forms the left wall. The top of your skull forms the roof. We're aware of this with our third eye, our inner eye. The back of our head forms the back of the room. The base of our skull forms the bottom of the room. So we're in a large, completely dark room, although we may be aware of a small opening at the back floor of the room, which is the opening of Shushmana, the channel of energy up our spine, of the Kundalini of prana. Sitting in this dark inner space, put your attention, your third eye's focus on that front wall, on the front, at the front, the front. And now with the third eye, see the right wall, the right, the right. See the left wall with your third eye, the left, left, left. With the third eye, now be aware of the ceiling, the ceiling, the ceiling. The eyes, the physical eyes remain completely still, and with the third eye, we're aware of the back wall, the back, the back, back. With the third eye, we're aware of the floor, the space, space. And because we're seeing with our third eye, our awareness of this space is different. Be aware of it as a space. Because we are in the super consciousness, this space can be limited to the inside of our head or the entirety of the universe. Just remain aware of the space. 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 As you become more familiar with this space, as you return to this space more and more often, the third eye will become more and more able to access the information here, to see the movement of light and color, perhaps even distinct images. But for now, simply be aware of this space. We're going to move our way out from this most subtle realm through continually more substantial aspects of our consciousness. For one last moment, enjoy this sense of being removed from the ego aspect of yourself and in the super consciousness of yourself, the part that is that connects with intuition, with the mystical, with the spiritual, with the fullest aspect of our potentiality. Now shift back to the breath. The breath in the nostrils, moving through that triangular shape. And now the breath in the body. No need to change it, just simply being consciously aware. Moving our way back through the levels of consciousness that brought us here. Now coming back to awareness of the entirety of our still body. And now being aware of the base of our body on the floor, whether that's our legs or our spine and back. Further externalizing our experience by listening to sounds outside of ourselves. Start to gently wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Roll your wrists. Roll your ankles. Notice that you may still be able to hold on with some of that larger viewing, that larger awareness, simultaneously doing whatever we're doing in life, but also being aware of it at the same time, helping to continue that connection to our intuition, to our sixth chakra. All right, shrug your shoulders up and down a few times. Maybe open and close your mouth. Wrap your arms around yourself, give yourself a squeeze. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, palms of the hands, and rub them vigorously. Oops, if you were on your back, I forgot to tell you. Oh wait, you're doing fine. Rub your soles of your feet and palms and hands together. Good. Drop your knees from side to side. If you're upright, you can just twist from side to side. Good. And now if you're on your back, go ahead and rock your way all the way upright. Pause for a few breaths, noticing the heightened level of awareness and sense of connection that you have right now. Know that that is always available to you and will continue to grow as you access that inner yoga, that inner still space more and more. Let's close out our practice by chanting Sat Nam 3 times. Here we go. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Let's bow to that stillness, that wisdom inside of each other, inside of ourselves. All right, so today there'll be a Google Meet that you can participate in if you would like. It will be accessible immediately after this class, but beginning right at noon Central Time, we're going to do a healing meditation for one of the, I'm going to call her a founding member of the of this class. Back when we used to do it in a room all together at Yoga Yoga. So if you would like to participate in either talking after class, come online. You can find that link in the in the description of class, also in Facebook on this description of this class. But if you would like to chant, doing the healing meditation, make sure you're there at noon. Thank you so much. See you next time.